Yo, what's up, brothers, sisters, or uncles and aunties, judging by the uh, age of the average age of folks working in this industry in pharmaceuticals, uh, or for those of you that are watching this live stream. Um, yeah, I don't know who would be interested in watching this, but anyways, uh, hope you had a good weekend. Today is Sunday, August 23rd. Happy Sunday. And yeah, we missed out a lot on last week's action. I was kind of busy, so I didn't do any live streaming from last Tuesday until today. Uh, and that's yeah, so we skipped 5 days of live streaming, which is fine. And there has been some big news or really big news, monumental news for the biotech industry, which has to do with Moderna and cancer vaccines, like this one right here. Moderna stock went up 175% on a single day, or more like 177 on a single day on Wednesday. So that was the day that we didn't do a live stream. So sorry about that, and hope you all saw that coming. You totally did, and yeah, reaped a windfall on that. Um, yeah, on that gain of Moderna price. You all did, huh? So, anyways, let's take a look at the other stuff. Maybe we'll just, I mean, yeah, I think now even the mainstream media is covering this Moderna piece like crazy. So, we're not going to do any of that here today. But what we can do is to take a look at the other news that we missed, as well as maybe some of the IPO stuff that we haven't been covering recently. Um, yeah, let's just take a look at that and take a deep dive into a single company that we'll select based on how relevant and how interesting the news around that company is. Okay, let's do that. Okay, first stop, biopharma dive. How cost and perception would reshape GLP-1 market. It's about the dual of like, I guess it's dual as in dual, like two of them, duopoly, as well as the duel, the fight off, the bake off, and the sword stabbing between Lilly and Novo Nordisk. Let's see. So it's not that interesting though. This one, cancer vaccine wins restores Wall Street's faith in Moderna. We're not going to do that one, like we said before. Shareholder pressure on Capricorn Lily dives. I think this one could be interesting. Let's take a look at that one. Ultragenics after setbacks, NAB's first gene therapy approval. By the way, I did the news roundup just because we've missed kind of a lot of the news that's happening last week. So let's do that. And then Ultragenics, Trump nominates policy aide Overton to lead FDA. This is a big deal for the industry, but we're not going to comment too much on that, um, just because. Overton, huh? So the FDA commissioner is Overton. Well, did I open up the Ultragenics piece? I did not. Okay. This is interesting. Why are Chinese biotech CEOs unfazed about rising US tensions? Maybe we just take a look at it for the hell of it. Has nothing to do with the theme of our show here, but we'll just do it because China is relevant and China is relevant to me. So you better listen to me just yapping about China. Werewolf transformed into Ambrose via reverse merger. That's kind of interesting. Numora shuffles leadership ahead of IND. Okay. Shoots and ladders. Okay. We'll take a look at that. Werewolf. What is this? Competitors gaining on edge. Feast CEO. I think that's just an interview. So we're not gonna cover their interview. Boehringer places phase one study on hold to examine safety event. Lilly Penn's deal with Gateway Labs resident for RNA vaccine platform. This is interesting. However, when you read that word, does it look like penis to you? Lilly Penn's deal. Somehow, maybe it's again due to my dirty mind. I read this as like little penis, but you know. Okay. The werewolf one, I don't know, maybe, but we definitely want to cover this one. Werewolf, where are you here? Man, we have a lot to cover. Let's see. So we stopped on Wednesday, right? So let's just go to Wednesday for, yeah, here we go. Seeking Alpha starting on Wednesday. Here we go. Come on. Still? Still going? Okay, Tuesday. Right here. Wednesday. Moderna Merck rise after late stage trial wins for mRNA cancer therapy. So this kicked off a whirlwind of news headlines on what is it called? Is summer anyway, we're not gonna go into it, but we know that this is it. Okay. Healthcare's ETF rally as Moderna nearly doubles on melanoma win. Melanoma is just the first stop. We all know that. Obviously, the valuation gain and the upside does not stop at melanoma. That's such a small indication wherever you go. Um, by the way, melanoma is pretty much a Western disease, I believe, right? So us Asians, we hardly get melanoma, and neither do Africans. So I mean, it's a generalization, but I'm just saying, not saying like um, white people are sensitive to skin tumors, but due to sunlight sensitivity. But I'm kind of saying that it's based on fact, based on data, right? Uh, yeah, we can definitely take a look at that at some point in the future, but maybe we just take a look at it. Why not? We have a lot of time today, no? It's only 10 in the morning. Melanoma occur beyond Caucasians? It's a simple question for the AI here. Yes, melanoma absolutely occurs in non-Caucasian population, while fair-skinned individuals have the highest overall incidence. Huh. Individuals of African, Asian, Hispanic, whatever descent can and do develop this aggressive form of skin cancer. Understanding the melanoma. What? The dominant subtype. Da-di-da. People of color are acrolenginous melanoma. 5 year survival rate. Okay, so white Caucasian is 1 in 38 melanoma risk. Where's the Asians? Hispanics 1 in 167 and blacks 1 in 1,000. So that's almost negligible. However, we can never say that because we live in a day and age of rare diseases, and therefore it's never that rare if there is 1 in even 1,000 people that comes down with this disease in their lifetime, right? Critical barrier to early detection. How about skin color? Could be one critical barrier, and however, the lower incidence evens that out. So that's great. Socioeconomics versus skin color. Reverse correlation, however, being evened out because melanoma is a fair skin disease and therefore like somewhat of a rich people disease. The way that the interesting thing is that the way that these numbers play out is like also socioeconomics, right? Except Asians here are not represented. If Asians are represented, Asians would probably be here either on par or slightly below white and Caucasian. Because socioeconomically, maybe not socially, maybe not socially, but economically, definitely Asians are up there, right? At least the Asian Americans that are living in this country. But as for the Asians, they're probably like somewhere below the white Caucasian, but maybe slightly above Hispanic and Latino population, because I think over there we're talking a lot about like the South Americans, um, whose economy hasn't been doing that great compared to um, you know, economies of people that look like me, meaning East Asians. So that would be what Chinese, Japanese, Koreans, or like whatever, Singaporean, Taiwan. Uh, if you consider Taiwan a country, and we have also places like Southeast Asia, Malaysia, Indonesia, and all those other, um, yeah, all those other things. And by the way, we don't talk politics on this podcast. Podcast, I mean live cast there, and therefore, uh, I am not allowed to take a position whether Taiwan can or cannot be considered a country. Because yeah, I am from the home of the free, which is mainland China. I'm just being sarcastic there, but yeah. So you know, being being Chinese and all, we're taught a certain way of thinking about that political issue. But of course, here in the United States, we don't really talk about that. As on the other, well, we do talk about that rather. We do talk about that, and that's we're kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum, and therefore, it's all about politics. Again, um, we're not talking politics here. So, in any case, I like how I just got uh, sidetracked it with like an entire political issue around China, Taiwan, and all that. But anyways, uh, coming to this. So the bottom line is, melanoma is a socioeconomic slash terribility, the uh, the disease and disease field evener. Is that even a word? Field evener? It's a it levels the playing field, okay? The richer you are, the more likely you get melanoma. Although it's not causal, it is correlated, inversely correlated, and therefore, yeah, I guess I can just call it an evener. You know what I mean, right? Okay. Anyways, coming back to this. How did we get even to melanoma? Oh, it's because of this one right here. It even mentioned melanoma. Moderna surges. Twist Bio jump sending AI linked peers higher after Anthropic announcement. Anthropic and Twist Bio. Okay. Alnylam. Alnylam initiated an outperform at BMO on RNAi pipeline. What does that mean? An outperform at BMO. So did a stock analyst just like upgrade their rating for an island? Is that what it means? Let's take a look at that. Mm. BioNTech's rally on Moderna trial win. What? Yeah. Likely to fade, Leering says. Moderna shorts reportedly suffers 5 billion loss after stock sudden rise. So kids watching at home, please take note here that you do not short stocks without knowing about what's happening. And you can never really time these things, and therefore you're going to suffer huge losses. And here's a prime example of that. Case in point, right? Just yeah, just watch out for those types of things that yeah, when you short a stock. Maybe we should short, but short on things like Elon Musk and Tesla. It was almost for certain that things won't work out for that guy and his companies. But like, I'm just, oh, yeah, I'm just freaking dissing Elon here. But for Moderna, they were already at like kind of an all point low back in what, January this year slash end of last year, whatever, right? So things can't go any worse. So why do you short Moderna? Come on, man. Um, well, I guess here it is. That's the payback that you get for shorting Moderna. Um, yeah, it's not like I've seen this coming, but at least I know that Moderna, well, they've got something going for them. Even before this whole cancer vaccine thing blew up, there was always the flu vaccine, right? They just got their approval earlier this year. So, in any case, so yeah, Moderna took it to their short interest, to those people that are shorting them, and yeah, really, really gave it to them this week. Oh dang. Regeneron wins FDA nod for rare bone disorder therapy. That's big pharma, so we're not gonna open it. Ascendis new outperform at BMO on Transcon platform. So BMO is giving everybody an outperform, huh? New CDC director says vaccines are safe and effective. Well, that's good news. Biotech hit a post-pandemic high after mRNA rival w- wins for not rival, trial wins for Moderna and Merck. BioMarin initiated an outperform at BM. Everybody's outperform. Edessa BioNTech launches public offering. Longeveron appoints new chief financial officer. Gilead rises for the seventh straight session. Good. OSR Health faces NASDAQ delisting over bid price rule. Sarah Prognostics appoints Scott Gleason as CFO. Isn't this that the dude that came up with the Gleason score? No, Scott Gleason. No, Gleason score I believe is for colorectal cancer or gastric. No, for colorectal cancer. Uh, Aurinia settles Lepkinus patent litigation with Teva. Ultragenyx wins accelerated approval for gene therapy. All right, we already opened that link. Edessa Biotech prices 25 million equity offering. Oh, this is already into Thursday's news. Moderna nearly triples in record S&P 500 move, but analysts sees more volatilities ahead. Um, Trump's Moderna bet gets a double dose. What does that mean? Moderna bet gets a double dose. Well, during breakthrough, the option lottery tickets that paid out. Urgent invests up to what does that mean? The options lottery ticket. Oh, shall we look at it? Yeah, we'll do that. Urgent invests up to 7 million in Intracell as part of an options agreement. Intragel, not Intracell. Trump says regulators seeking to bring hyperliquid platform to U.S. Bioaffinity Technologies announces 1-for-15 reverse stock split. By BIAF. BIAF, that's what, or BIAF. BIAF, that's Bioaffinity's ticker. AC Immune gains on stage trial data for anti-inflammatory agent. Only gained 10%. How does that stand up to Moderna's 170%? Hmm? Moderna hits its most outbought level in history after stock exploded more than 175%. That's awesome. ProQR new buy at BOA. Capricorn slips after report on potential Dara myocell rejection. Alpha recognition rises. Cognition, not recognition. as B. Riley initiates a buy on Alzheimer's drug. Arbutus to repurchase up to 230% of shares in tender offer. What is a tender offer anyway? Let's see. What is tender offer? I think we looked this concept up last year, but I have short memories. So let's see. A tender offer is a public or formal proposal to buy a set of numbers from a company's stockholders within a specific time. The buyer offers a price higher than the current market value to encourage people to sell. It's often used to take control of the business. Key features: the offer pays more per share. The deal stays open for a short fixed period, often requires minimum or maximum number of shares to be met before the purchase goes through. Okay. The company itself offers to buy back its own shares. Okay. Interesting. Renault, Renovo, Renovo RX regains Nasdaq compliance. Gossamer Bio announces up 250 million private placement. Azitra regains a lot. There's a lot of um like biotechs this week that's regaining confidence from these stock listing. What is it called? Nasdaq Composite, New York Stock Exchange stock listing brokerage, right? Is that is that the name for these things? Nasdaq. What are Nasdaq and NYSE? They're stock exchanges. There we go. They act as organized marketplace whereby, of course. Yeah, what is the volume? Do they list the volumes here? No, they're just stock exchanges. There we go. Lawmakers ask FDA to scrutinize Chinese trials amid deaths. TG Therapeutics gain amid takeover speculation. Oh, yeah? Let's see. Who's going to buy these guys? These are well into Friday's news now. HHS seeking public input on vaccine recommendation categories. And again, Moderna's in the news. Ha ha ha. NASDAQ ends positive on broader rally. Tech stocks lead weekly losses. Kairos Pharma announces 1-for-7 reverse stock split. Insider trades AMD, Micro, and Coca-Cola among notable names. Essays: what are the most promising oncology companies right now? Let's see. I'm kind of curious. Seeking Alpha ask, huh? All right. So given the number of news articles we have to cover, we probably won't really get to the IPOs of the week. Vogenix, Latigo, Blossom Hill. I think we covered these, right? Vogenix, did we? We'll take a look later. And fundraising, of course, we won't have time to cover. Well, let's take a look at, let's start. Yeah, let's start here. Last week's news: shareholder pressures, Capricorn Lilly dives deeper into vaccines. Active investors, Cowles Capital is calling for governance reset at Capricorn, just a day before Food and Drug Administration decision deadline for the company's cell therapy for Duchenne. In a letter to a fellow shareholder, Cows, the cows are Cows, uh, requested meeting, nominated 2 independent board directors, da-da-da, firm seeking meeting with the board, a representative group. Bristol Myers Squibb made another bet on AI drug discovery. 1 month after aligning with NVIDIA, they signed a deal with buzzy startup Chai Discovery, one that just came out of the IPO cage. out of the gate, right? Is that what it's called? Came out of the gate like a horse race. Chai Discovery used an AI technology to discover new antibody drugs. They will tap Chai's AI models for unearthing antibody candidates across its portfolio. Well, I hope that one pans out for you, BMS. Eli Lilly has struck a deal. RNA drug startup Amplitude Therapeutics. The day after, the day after the the mRNA, the what is it, Moderna news came out. Yeah, replicating nucleotide acid like messenger RNA technology, trans amplifying RNA. Those vaccines could be easier to manufacture and pack strong potency into lower doses. This Wednesday announcement did not disclose financial considerations, which exact targets the two companies will pursue. Lilly must have heard something. Otherwise, they couldn't have wrapped this deal up with like a bow tie on Wednesday, exactly the same day when the Moderna news came out. Man, this some of that insider exchange of information. Well, between Moderna, Merck, Eli Lilly. I don't know. These people talk, man. These people all talk. Oh. So that this deal went through, and Lilly didn't have to overpay for this company, Trans Amplifying RNA. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Take a look at that. Okay, so that's it. Trans Amplifying RNA. Do they just buy that company, or they just struck a deal? Anything else notable? Network biofinancing, disease-focused data set, train new AI models to advance diseases. That sounds like fucking hot air being blown right there. Um, but the street and the venture community buys it, so that's all that matters. These people believe in it, so that's cool. The capital has to go somewhere. Somewhere. These people have to put you and my hard-earned retirement money somewhere that are somewhat de-risked, quote unquote. Fucking yeah, fucking Wall Street, man. Uh Essentially, financial markets is pretty much the only thing that U.S. And technology in a way, but like technology, biotech, China is quickly catching up. Capital markets, I think, is the only place where U.S. still has a clear edge over China and the rest of the world, very clearly. So listen up, all you fucking Wall Street douchebags. You guys hold the edge. It's not because you're smarter than all the Chinese financiers. It's because you had a head start. So listen up, you ass motherfuckers. Don't keep screwing us people on the main street just to enrich your motherfucking selves. And this is just a warning, okay? We in this country, we're in a good spot, and you keep fucking it up. You fucked it up multiple times because of personal and organized greed, just like organized crimes that we refer to as cartels. But you are a cartel in yourselves, and you have limited error, right? Margin of for error. Until that day, like the US still can be very proud of the awesome financial institutions that we have built in the last 250 years for this country. So don't fuck it up, all you motherfuckers. So just a warning shot, okay? Anyway, why did I come out with that rant? I don't know. It's just because when the main street is clearly struggling, the stocks are surging, and Wall Street is like having a party with all the IPOs and all the M&As and all the raises. So, yeah, all you VCs, PEs, motherfuckers, IBs, whatever, you guys just take a hard look at yourselves and say, this is why we're better than China and for how long. So where are you going to hide all your wealth when China and the rest of the world, mostly China, catches up to us, right? What's going to happen? Seriously, you're going to take your bag of money and just carry it over on your private jet and fly over to your private Caribbean islands or in the Bermudas? Is that what you're going to do? Think about that. Oh god. Okay. Okay, what were we saying? Yeah, about trans amplifying RNA. Maybe we just uh take a look at this another day, but oh, it's amplitude accept. Okay, ultragenics. No, thank you. I don't need to subscribe. First gene therapy approval. Great news from August 20th. Wow. Okay, we can probably take a deep dive into this company. Also, Amplitude. What about this one? Werewolf transforms into Ambrose with reverse merger. Werewolf's therapeutics hunt for strategic alternatives have ended. They have agreed to merge with Ambrose. All stock. The move positions Ambrose to take its lead, the rare disease drug, to an approval filing. Massachusetts-based Werewolf began looking for an escape route in February. Nice. I like the choice of words that these journalists use to cover this story. I'm sure that's not AI. Can AI write something as interesting as this? They were looking for an escape route. Company exited stealth with 56 million and raised 72 Series B uh, round on its way to $120 million IPO in 2021. Yet by early 2026, Werewolf's cash runway has shrunk to less than 1 year, lead the biotech to sell off assets to Jazz and Merck KGaA while seeking a takeover for its NASDAQ listings. A taker. The reverse merger will see the resulting company operate under Ambrose branding. Werewolf shareholders will own about 7% of the combined entity. That's not much, with the remaining 93% dividend divided up, not dividend, between Ambrose's existing backers and participant in $150 million of private placement. RA Capital and Janice Henderson will co-lead the private placement. So essentially, Ambrose becomes another company that got listed. Ambrose is testing amino biphosphonate called neridronate in complex regional pain syndrome, CRPS1 type 1, a condition formerly known as a reflex sympathetic dystrophy. The program builds on the use of neridronate in Italy, where the biphosphate is used to treat conditions including osteogenesis imperfecta. That's such a cool name of disease. I mean, disease names are never really cool, but like, seriously? What is that? Known for brittle bone disease. It's a rare genetic disorder caused by defects in type 1 collagen. Oh, that sucks. The name is cool, but the disease isn't. Yeah, let's close all these tabs. These extra tabs that we don't need. Maybe leave that one open. Good for you, Ambrose, and we look forward to hear from you as a NASDAQ listed publicly traded company. Okay, so keep going here, no? Lily, what just happened here? Oh, damn you, ads. Fierce Biopharma ads. Oh, the little penis news. Lily Penn's deal with Gateway Labs resident Amplitude. Oh, right here. We were just covering that. Amplitude Therapeutics. Awesome. Okay, so we can stop this one. and cover this one more in depth another day. Shoots and what? And ladders. Numura's shuffles leadership ahead of IND. A round of significant leadership hirings, firings, and retirings across the industry. Numura. Joshua Pinto. Clinical stage. Step into the shoes of Paul Burns, the founder, co-founder. Submitting his IND, initiate phase 1 of NRLP1 inhibitors for patients with obesity. NLRP1, huh? Phase 1 Alzheimer's disease. Numura it is. Cool. Wait, what? Okay. Shuffles leadership. Money has spoken. Why Chinese biotech CEOs tell fears they are unfazed about rising. See, this is just another prime example of like where we are with China. Let's see. Well, lawmakers. It's too long of an article to cover. I would encourage you to just go look at this Fierce Biotech article yourself, guys. And yeah, let me know what you think. Let's come back to the other. Whoops, we hit a bottom. Okay. There we go. Moderna breakthrough. The option lottery tickets that paid out. Moderna saw one of the most dramatic single day. The $65 call, the largest accumulated option in the chain. It's just financial gains. A gain of 12,000%. The $67 call gained 31,000%. On the other side, the $55 put. So call is an option to buy, and the put is an option to sell, I believe. Carries 11,693 interest. It closed at 0.01. The traders' position for Moderna's continued decline woke up to positions worth essentially nothing. I think, oh yeah, I said it the other way around. A put is an option to buy, right? And the call is an option to sell. Okay. Or the other way around. I never got that right. Let's see. Call versus put. Yeah, call is the rights to buy, so you're longing a stock, while put gives you the option to sell. You buy calls when you expect price to rise. Call gives you the options to buy. Give you the option to sell, okay? Put give you option to sell. Damn, it's hard to follow. What Thursday brings with expiration date. Pure financial play. Not interesting from a biotech perspective, but a lot of winners and losers on that single day on Wednesday. Damn. Again, very few people saw that coming. What's going on? Trump's Moderna bet gets a double dose. Trump stock filing transactions review multiple purchases of Moderna on May 13th. according to the filings tracker shown in a post. Show purchase of 15. Oh, whoa. 1,000 to 15,000 with the underlying trade date of March 1st and March 16th, respectively. The tracker showed estimated excess returns of 156%, 156%, 148% since those transactions. The filing also showed a subsequent 1,000 to 15,000 sale of Moderna, trade on May 18th, an estimated excess return of 187. The firm has risen 491% since start of the year. What are they insinuating to say about the Trump trade? So Trump personally was behind these transactions. So much for no insider trading involved, Mr. President. But I guess Trump missed out on the biggest rally that helped drive up the stock to 491%, no? Well, maybe he sold it so that he wouldn't just be appearing to be doing insider trading on that shady stuff. Who knows? We don't really give a shit about what Trump does with his personal finances, but the Justice Department does. And the SEC does, because presidents are not above the law. BMO Capital Markets initiated Alnylam with an outperform rating, citing its RNAi pipeline and growth in its ATTR franchise. The firm's price target 318, 39% upside. We believe silencing will eventually. When was this? Is this news from 2022? It's from 2026. Okay. Hasn't Alnylam lost half of its value this year rather than serving rare diseases, moving to larger indications? While the company recently lowered its guidance for revenue, Lebowitz, I guess this is the analyst, sees the phase 3 ATTR asset nucresiran as eventually extending the franchise. Okay. BMO is initiating outperforms on everyone. Well, we can go over this one some other time. But how about them TG Therapeutics? Accept all cookies. Jump 7.2% newest takeover speculation. New takeover interest from unnamed suitor. Haha. Who would that be, huh? Uncooked alert. What does TG Therapeutics do? We're just speculating. TG Therapeutics. Should we all go in on some speculative trades as well on TGX? Shall we? Okay. Let's see. Let's see. I just inadvertently open it in another window or tab. A window. But now you can see it. Brittany living with RMS and taking Briumvi. The approval of Briumvi. Our products. Let's see. Briumvi, patient support. It's ubituximab. Yeah, TG Therapeutics. What does it do? Yes, it is profitable. Is it a good stocks to buy? Strong 54 to 30, 45 per share. Strong drug sales. What does commercial state? See, AI is pretty. I mean, Gemini is pretty smart. It knows that I'm asking an actual question that needed some LLM synthesis and compute power. Therefore, it calls for the AI mode even without me saying it. This is why we pay billions of dollars into our AI infrastructure investments across the societies, right? B cell driven is primary focus on autoimmune conditions like multiple sclerosis, antibody therapy to treat adult with multiple sclerosis. Why do I call it sclerosis? There we go. Okay, sounds good. Anything else we should cover today? Huh? Maybe just take a look at this one. Well, okay, we'll do this tomorrow. How about that? We're already went way over our normal confines of the um live stream duration. So thank you everybody for tuning in and sorry for not live streaming for a few days. And this is the catch up episode. I hope you have all have a nice Sunday and adios.